So, when are you going to leave? That question changed our lives. It's actually the reason that we're standing here today. In 2010, Jim and I and some friends were helping kids with homework in a mobile home community in the suburbs of Atlanta called Gwinnett Estates. That neighborhood was then and is now home to majority first and second generation Mexican immigrant families. And they had asked if we could help with homework because the kids were struggling in school and the parents didn't speak English. Now, during those homework sessions, we met a sixth grader named Sophia. One day, Sophia looked at me and said, "Miss Melinda, when are you guys going to leave?" That's what people always do here. They come, they stay for a while, they leave, and we never see them again. Well, I was caught completely off guard by Sophia's question. But what I said to her was, "I'm not going to leave, and I'm coming to your high school graduation." And then I went home that night and told Jim that I had just committed us to working in the trailer park forever.
So once Melinda committed us to being in this community for the rest of our lives, we knew that we needed to learn as much as we could about our neighbors. Good morning. My name is Jim Hollinsworth.
And I'm Melinda Hollinsworth.
And we're the co-founders of the PATH Project. When Sophia asked us this question 8 years ago, I was a pastor, Melinda was a teacher. We didn't know anything about running a nonprofit, and we definitely didn't know much about our neighbors who were immigrants. So we decided to just simply listen. We got involved in their lives, and we asked questions, and we heard amazing stories, and we made really great friends. And through all of those conversations, a couple of things really stood out to us. The first was that suburban poverty really isn't that different than urban poverty. The difference is that it's oftentimes hidden in low-income neighborhoods like trailer parks. This community, Gwinnett Estates, was 2 miles from our house in the same town where we both grew up, and we never even knew that it was there. The second thing that stood out to us was that the vast majority of teenagers that we met and talked to had already dropped out of high school.
So for me, with a background in education, this was devastating news. So we started doing research, asking questions, and we learned a lot about the reasons why kids drop out of high school. But the thing that stuck out to us the most for the kids that we met was that they just didn't know anyone personally who had graduated from high school. So we became passionate about putting graduates in the neighborhoods. And in 2012, we launched the PATH Project with the mission of guiding Latino youth who live in mobile home communities on their path to high school graduation and finding God's purpose for their life. Now, to do this, we opened community centers inside mobile home communities. And our community staff are called guides. They lead a variety of programs that empower children and parents in schools to work together to navigate the path to high school graduation. Many of our staff have experience as public school teachers, and others are bilingual residents from the neighborhood. And together, they form a dynamic team. Now, our guides consistently track the progress of our students on their path to high school graduation, and we're seeing great things happen. We're now able to compare the graduation rates of kids who are part of our programs with the kids who are not part of our programs but live in the same neighborhood. For kids who choose not to be part of our programs, only 36% of them are graduating from high school. For kids who do choose to be part of our programs, 88% of them are graduating from high school. One of those 88% is Sophia, who was the first person in her family to graduate from high school. And she's now on track to be the first person in her family to graduate from college.
Since we started in 2012, we've been able to grow and duplicate our model, and we're currently serving in 8 mobile home park neighborhoods. 7 are in Metro Atlanta, and 1 is in Nashville, Tennessee. And the success of our model has caught the attention of the owners of 4 of the parks where we serve. It's a company called Riverstone Communities, and they've seen some pretty cool stuff. They've been able to measure lower crime rates and higher retention rates in the communities where PATH Project is present. So they've invited us into the nearly 100 mobile home parks they own around the Southeast. It's a pretty big number for us. So the next couple of years, we're looking specifically at scaling into cities like Chattanooga, Tennessee, Greenville, South Carolina, and Orlando, Florida. all with the same goal of seeing as many kids living in mobile home parks as possible graduate high school and find God's purpose for their lives. Now, I'll let you guys in on a little secret. We don't have it all figured out. We're still learning. We're still making mistakes. We still ask a lot of questions. But we're seeing really cool things happen. We're seeing meaningful relationships develop. We're seeing people become friends who wouldn't normally become friends. And we're seeing kids graduate from high school. A lot of times people ask us, what's the most important thing that you guys do? Well, for us, it's a pretty easy answer. We simply show up. Our staff, our volunteers, our mentors, they show up every day, and they're present in the lives of the kids and the families in mobile home parks in our community. Now, many of you may be just like us. Maybe you live in the suburbs, and you don't know that there's folks right around the corner who are facing challenges. So my encouragement to you guys is simply this. Lean into your community. Step out of your comfort zone. Get to know your neighbors and see what can happen when you simply show up. Thank you.